Welcome back, SimNuts. This is George with SimNut Racing Sims. Today we have a little bit different video. Today I'm going to show you over my shoulder how you can go ahead and edit your racing videos or any kind of videos at all on your PlayStation console through Share Factory. I'm also going to show a little special trick on picture-in-picture that you can use, especially for racing, that you can go ahead and add a different point of view of the race that overlays your single person point of view. That kind of adds a different aspect to your videos. So even if you're just interested in learning how to use Share Factory, stick around. I'm going to go through the whole top to bottom of how to edit the video and how to get it uploaded and saved. So stick around, stay tuned, hope you enjoy. Okay, now one of the first things you want to do is go into your PlayStation settings on your PlayStation dashboard, go to your broadcast, share settings, and set your record timer to 60 minutes. That way, what you're going to do is at the end of every race, you're going to go ahead and click your share button, save the video clip, and it'll save up to 60 minutes. Just as long as your race isn't over 60 minutes long, it'll save that entire race. Now, the other thing you want to do is once you're in a set of courses here, before every race, you're going to want to go to your gallery, and you're going to want to make sure you have enough empty slots. Now, it's a little complicated because not that you already have enough to pay attention to and to focus on while you're racing. What you're going to have to do is about every 4 minutes, what you're going to need to do is go ahead and bind a button on your wheel to save the replay. And every 4 minutes, you're going to have to click that save replay button on your wheel, and it'll save to your gallery, which is why before every race you're going to want to make sure you empty this out to make sure you have enough slots available. The next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and let's say this is the first saved replay of that race. You're going to go ahead, you're going to open it up, and you're going to need to make a recording of your replay onto the PlayStation and save it. So go ahead and adjust whatever camera angle you want. If you want to have several, you can just go ahead and record several as different clips if you'd like. So we're going to go ahead and pause it or reset. The one I like to use is the second, what I like to call broadcast camera. So you go ahead, make sure you're at the start. You'll double click the share button. The icon will pop up in the top left saying that you're recording. Hit the square button to play. And what you're going to want to do is let that play throughout the entire replay, and at the end of it, go ahead and save that recording to your PlayStation by clicking the share button. Again, it'll end the recording. The menu will pop up, save video clip, and that'll save to your PlayStation gallery. So then you're going to want to exit. And then you just keep repeating that process over and over and over until you've done recording all the replays for that race. Another thing you can do is if you want to create a thumbnail from there, you can just go ahead and open up one of the same replays, find a nice still shot of whatever angle or part of the race you want for a thumbnail, and just take a screenshot of that and save that to the gallery as well. And I'll show you how to go ahead and create that thumbnail right here in the Share Factory as well for your YouTube video. Alright, so we're back here in Share Factory. You're going to want to go ahead, click New Project. Make sure you're under Videos. New Project. Now, it's going to ask you to pick a theme. It already has some available. You can go onto the PlayStation Store. There are some free, some paid. You can do some generic ones just for PlayStation, Share Factory, different games. I like this one. It's a racing theme. I downloaded it off the PlayStation Store. It was free. I mean, it's pretty cheesy and generic, but it works. Uh, so what it's going to do then now is going to bring in, it's going to ask you what clips you want to add to start the project. So it's going to show a lot of things in your gallery, other things you may have already had on Share Factory. But then it's going to also give you these intro, title scenes, outros for pretty much every theme that you select. Depending on the theme, these first few windows will be stinger clips, stuff like that. Like, for instance, this is the racing intro. And if you notice the little blue check mark at the bottom right hand of that window, that means it's selected. I'm not going to be using this one, so I'm going to click X to take it off. I do use this title screen because we can go ahead and put text in there for a title screen. So we're going to keep that one. The outro scene is basically the same as the intro, so we're going to get rid of that. And then Share Factory tries to always add a stinger clip, so we're going to get rid of that. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and add your main replay of the entire race. So what we're going to do is you're going to watch me edit a Pan Am event we did last week. Really good race, so we're going to go ahead and select that one. As you can see, it's a 60-minute video, but we are going to clip it a little bit. So we make sure that's selected along with our title screen right here that we're going to use. So then we're going to hit square to start project. We're going to rename the project. We'll just call it Pan Am and at Donington. All right, now this is the title screen. Now it automatically adds some text based on the title, your username, and whatever your profile is. So what we're going to do is we're not going to mess with any of this right now. This is just cosmetic stuff. This is stuff we're going to deal with last. So what we're going to do is we'll skip the title screen. Now you can see your tools at the bottom. The right thumbstick will move it back and forth, left and right. If you hit L1, R1, it'll advance to next and previous clips. And R2 plays, circle pulls you back, and square will open up your tools, and X is to add things such as clips or tracks or music or overlays, stuff like that. So what we're going to start out doing is we're going to go to our main clip. And we're going to fast forward to where the start of our video is. Now, when I did recording this, this event was 2 30-minute races. So we're just going to edit the second one. All right. Now, we may trim even more, but we're going to go ahead and just for now start the clip of when we start doing our pace laps. Now, if you use the right and left buttons on the D-pad, it'll just click by frames. As you can watch the timer, I'm clicking the button. The screen's moving, but it's not even, so it's moving fractions of a second, so you can pinpoint exactly where you want to clip it. So once you have where you want to clip it, you hit the square for the tools. You'll see split clip. You can also use trim clip if it's just on the edges where you shorten in the end or the beginning of the clip. But I always use split clip. It's what I know how to use and it works. So we're going to hit, once we have that, you can notice the X at the bottom left is now the split film. So we hit X. It's going to ask us if we want to split it. Hit confirm, and you can see it split the clip right where we're at. So we're going to be getting rid of all of this right here. So we just make sure our timeline is over that clip. We hit the square for the trash to delete. Confirm that, and that whole clip is gone. That whole section of the clip is gone now, and we're starting at the beginning of the video. Now we're going to go ahead and check the end. We can just click R1 to go to the end of the clip. We're going to go ahead and listen to the end of this to see where, if we need to trim it at all. Yeah, we're probably going to go ahead and clip it right before the menu pops up. See, that's me saving the race at the end of that one. All right, so we're going to go ahead. As you can see, we're still in the tools menu. So we hit X to split the clip again, hit confirm, and we're going to get rid of the end of this. And it'll put us back to the beginning. All right, so the next thing we're going to want to do is get out of this menu. Make sure you hit circle so you're not splitting and deleting anywhere you don't want to split and delete. So we hit circle, backs us out of that menu. Now we're just back on our regular timeline. We'll go back to the beginning of the clip. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and add our saved replays that we went back and recorded a second time and saved to our gallery. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit X to pull this menu up. Now we can add a clip, add a screenshot, add a track. Now if you add a clip, it's just going to add a clip somewhere else in a separate timeline. So that's not what we want to do. We want to add track 2. Now we're going to hit X to record, even though we're not recording anything. Now it's asking us if we want to record audio or record the video. What we're going to do is we're going to add a clip. And since we recorded those replays again and saved them to our gallery, there we can pull them up in here. So I believe this is the first one. Now let's see. Now you notice it records the replay menu from ACC. So we're gonna go ahead and you can trim those out to begin with. So it's just like we split the clip last time. We just want to make sure that we're on the track 2. That way we know where this can start. So we're going to hit square for tools, split clip, confirm the split, and we're going to delete that section with the replay menu. So then you see the video starts without that. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to line it up with our main clip, with the first person view. So we're going to go ahead and watch the left screen and try to time it up. Now, so in order to move the clip, we're going to go ahead, like I said, hit the tool button, move clip, actually let me cancel that, get on a better spot. We want to get it so it's hitting something we can definitely see. So right at the end where the rumble strips end, right there. So we're going to go ahead, move clip, and then we're going to use the left and right buttons on the D-pad, and we're going to pay attention to the left screen, and you can even use the right stick to move it faster. We're going to watch the left screen until it's right before it gets to that spot. I think it might be a little... No, that's not the same part of the track. We're right here. Okay, then we hit X to apply. Then we move back to the beginning and see if we match up. What you can do is go back a little further and then hit R2 to play.
What brake pads you running through that?
60. Okay, so as you can see, we're a little off. So we're going to go back, move clip again. We're going to have to move this one back. You can go ahead and match it up at the same spot. I should have done that the first time, sorry. Now, don't worry about the volume playing on both clips. We're going to go ahead and once we get everything in place, go ahead and I'll show you how to map out the volume so everything matches up, and we're going to go ahead and mute one and change the level on another one, but we'll do that once we have everything in place. So we're going to go ahead and back out of this Edit Track 2 menu, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the next replay. So we're going to fast forward till the second track ends. You can see it at the bottom, it's in yellow. Now, before we add the next clip, at the end of your replay, you're going to have a still frame like this. If you see on the right screen, it's not moving. That's from when I was ending the recording. So we just need to go, since it's already lined up, we just need to find the spot on the right screen exactly when it stops. So what we're going to do here is we want to make sure that we're on the edit track 2, which means the yellow's showing on top of the blue, and we can see the record in the tool button in the bottom left. So we're going to open up the tools, split clip, confirm the split. Now it's just going to split the track 2, the yellow, the one that's going to be the broadcast view on the right. That's what we're taking off. We're taking off that dead space right there. So we're going to go ahead and delete that. And now, as it plays, it'll just end instead of being a frozen picture. Now, like I said, when you're racing, you already have enough to think about, you know, besides trying to save your replays. So in this race, I got so involved with the race, I was losing track of where I was saving. So in this one, there's going to be some gaps, but I'm going to show you how to work around it. The picture will just come in and out for the replays that we have. And I also didn't have enough replay spots, so at the end of the race, we're going to run out of replays. So at the end of the video, it won't have any of the picture-in-picture. It'll just be the first-person view. Okay, so now that we trim the end of that one, we need to add the next one. So we're going to back out of this, go back to here, to where we just have the main clip up. We're going to want to add another track 2, so we want to make sure we're not on this yellow. As you see at the bottom or at the top, you can see the picture-in-pictures in there. We want to make sure we're past that. We're going to add another add track 2. We're going to hit the record. We're going to go to add clip, and then we're going to go to our next replay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and skip through adding all the rest of the replays since you already seen how to do it, and then we pick back up. I'm going to show you how to go ahead and edit the picture-in-picture to the way you like it and the different formats of it. And we're going to go ahead and adjust the volume and edit the intro and outro titles and things like that. Alright, so now that we have all of our track 2s added, our replays, the picture-in-picture, the footage that's going to go in a small window, we need to go ahead and adjust the volume on some of it because it's going to want to play the volume from both clips. So we need to mute the volume on our saved replays. But what it also does is once it puts up the picture-in-picture, the volume from the main clip is going to drop some, and it's definitely noticeable. So we want to go ahead and fix that. Also, if when you're broadcasting or recording the actual gameplay, if you're in a party chat, even if you have the other players' mics muted or your own mic muted and it's not being recorded, and you have the party mix set to where the mics are louder than the gameplay, it's going to reflect that in the recording that you did as well. So just keep that in mind. So first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and line up on one of the track 2s from the main menu. Go ahead and hit the square for the tools. We want to edit track 2, open up tools again, and we're going to go to clip volume. We're going to want to go ahead and put this all the way down to 0, and what you can do is, so you don't have to go clip to clip, you can set it all in one spot. If you click down to apply all, hit the square button to check the square, and then hit X to confirm. It'll go ahead and mute every single track 2 that you have in the project until you go ahead and change them individually. So right now, all of the yellow is going to be muted. And to show you what I'm talking about with the volume change, I'll go ahead and play a little clip. As you'll notice, as it goes from the main clip to the picture-in-picture, there's going to be a slight volume dip. 60. You notice it right there. So what we're doing is going to fix that. So since we have all of that muted, and to start from the beginning, we're going to go from the main track after all of this is muted. If you hit Tools, Edit Track, make sure you're at the edge of track 2, where it pops in, and then you want to go back to your main track, hit Tools, Split Clip, and we're going to split it right here where the second track starts. And then if you have any gaps, like say right here, so I can pull this up so I can show you better. See, this may not be a big enough gap for us to split it. We may just have to keep it. But all the rest of these are pretty much right on top of each other. But gaps like this, we're going to go ahead and fix that. So since this gap is big enough, we're going to find the edge of this track as well. And we want to split the main one. You want to make sure you're on the main menu for the main clip. Go ahead and hit the Tools, Split Clip. We're going to split it right here. And then we're going to go to the edge of here. We'll go back to Edit Track 2 to make sure we're in the right spot. Go back to our main. Pull the tools back up for the main. Hit Split Clip again. Oh, we lost it. Or you can do it from here if you watch the picture-in-picture on the right. You'll see when it disappears. But we didn't split it. Okay, it should be right there. Okay, so right there, we're going to want to split it. And now if you see, we have this little segment that's split where we don't have the picture-in-picture. And then we're going to want to come back to the very end of our last track 2, and we're going to do the same thing. Right there. And we're going to split that. So now if you see, now we have a bunch of blue segments. Now, for this whole chunk, since it's all one blue segment for this first set of picture-in-picture, we just do the same thing to set the volume. From the main track, you could hit Tools, Clip Volume. Now we're going to want to raise this part to 170%. At 170%, and we don't want to hit Apply All because we don't want it to all of them. We want the ones without track 2 to be at 100%, and the ones that have the track 2 to be at 170%, and that'll be a level volume. But these, we don't want to hit Apply to All. We just want to confirm this, back out, and then we can double check to make sure that this segment, since it doesn't have a track 2, is at 100, which it is. And then we'll go to our last segment right here, hit Tools, Clip Volume. We want to raise this one to 170. hit confirm. And then we'll go to our last segment, that the rest of the video that does not have the picture-in-picture. So we want to make sure that's at 100, because that's not going to have the volume dip, which it is. And that's how you set the volume for the clips to make sure everything's balanced out. See, watch when we go back, we're not going to hear that volume dip as much. 60. You hear a slight change, but the volume is level. All right, next, after we set the volume, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what you can do with the different things for the picture-in-picture. See, right now we have it in the top right. So if you want to move that or put a border on it or anything like that, you can go ahead and open up your Edit Track 2 in the tools. You don't want to click the triangle, you want to click the square for the tools. Once you're in, click the tools again in the Edit Track 2. And you can go to picture-in-picture layout. This will give you a swivel, offset, side-by-side. They all look a little different. Now the side-by-side, the offset, and the swivel will have a background. So in order to change those backgrounds, you would just go to picture-in-picture backdrop. You could set, let me go ahead and I'll show you. Move it to side-by-side just so we can see the picture-in-picture backdrop. Now you can select some that come with some of the themes that are selected. These two came with the racing theme that I downloaded. You could do a solid color and even edit the color. You can do some animated stuff. You could upload some of your own screenshots to have in the background. But to give you an idea of what it looks like, since I have the checker flag, you see how they have the checker flag in the back. Now you could set that solid color or gradient, another image you upload. You can pretty much do whatever you want. And then you can also change these settings. You could display a shadow around the boxes or a frame or end a frame, and you can also change the color. What I like to do is I like to go ahead, let me go back and get it top right because that's what we're going to be using. I display the shadow. You need to hit square to check the box. I display the frame, and then I adjust the frame color. You hit square to select the color, and you can adjust it. And it's pretty much the same menu for if you had the backdrop as a solid color and you wanted to adjust this, it would be the same way to set the color. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I don't want it too noticeable, just enough to where it's noticeable without being noticed, if you know what I mean. It'll kind of just set it off. So I'm going to have it be this dark green. We're going to select that, confirm, and you can also set the filters. We're not going to set any filters. So we're done with that. And to show you what I mean, you see how it's kind of all set now with a border and a shadow behind it. Now you can remove it, add it, change the colors, just like I showed you. Now we're going to have to do that for every one. So we're going to come to this next one, go to Edit Track 2, go to Picture-in-Picture Settings. Now it's a little quicker after you do it once. We just select the shadow, select the frame, and then on the frame color, if you look, it saves the color we just set. So we can just select that and then hit confirm. Exit out, and then just go to the next one. And do the same thing. Tools, Picture-in-Picture Settings, select everything, and set our color. And then confirm it. And we got to do it for this one as well. I'll just do all of these real quick. All right. Now that takes care of all of our track twos. Pretty much set up our border, our colors, our frames, our volumes. So now we're just going to move over to some of the cosmetic small things like setting our title screen up, some overlays. If you want to use them, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that as well. And we're also going to set the transitions between the title screen, the clip, and then I'm going to show you how to clone the clip so you can add an end screen as well. So let's go do that. All right, let's save everything we have right now before we move on. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the options button. You can just go ahead and save project. Project saved. So we're going to go ahead and finish out our title screen. So just make sure you're on the section that's the title screen right here. We're going to hit Tools. We're going to go over to Edit Overlays. And if you see on the left side, it has our three overlays. It has the profile picture, the username, and the title that we saved the video under. So we're just going to go ahead and delete all of these. So delete sticker. And we're just going to start from scratch. You could just go ahead and edit the text, but we don't want to do that. We're going to start from scratch. So we're going to go delete text and delete text. All right, so now everything's completely blank. The first thing I like to do is I like to go ahead and add a picture, another overlay. So just anywhere is on here, you can just go ahead and since we're going to have it run the whole thing, we'll just might as well set it up at the beginning. So we'll hit the X to add. Here, let me start from the beginning. X to add overlay, and then you can add a sticker. There's theme stickers that came. This is the racing theme that we're using, so based on the theme that you select will be the different stickers you can choose. Imported images. You can just go ahead. This is where we're going to add more text, and you can add camera effects, which makes the screen shake or drift or quake or heartbeat focus, whatever you want to do. But right now we're just going to add stickers. This is something I had uploaded, had already on my PlayStation. There's some other ones you could add. Got some pretty cool things. They got some of the ones I use. We're going to go ahead and probably add this like and subscribe button. We'll add effects to it as well. I'll show you how to do that. But right now we're just going to go ahead and add this sticker right here. Don't worry about setting a duration. Just set it in. And then this menu is going to pop up. Transform to move it and change the size of it. So you move it with the right thumbstick. L1 and R1. Decrease and increase the size of it. So we want to put it about right here. And if you want to make sure it's centered, you could tap the square button and it'll align it for you where you want it, if it's in the center. So probably make it a little smaller. We'll go ahead and set that there. Now for the duration, just go ahead and set the sticker duration. It'll show you this dark blue. The right thumbstick moves the end, the left thumbstick, and that's going to be where it appears. If you don't set any effects, it'll just instantaneously just be there, depending on where you start it. So that's what we want. We're just going to have it throughout the whole clip, and if you hit R1, right on the D-pad, it'll just bring it completely to the right. If you hit left on the D-pad, it'll bring it completely to the left. That means it's going to be for the entire segment of this title clip. So confirm that. And we're not going to put any animation on this one. You can set the opacity. You can add different layers. So that's set. And then we're going to go ahead, go back to the beginning. Now we're going to add our text. So you see on the left, we just have the sticker that we added, but we're going to add text underneath that as well. So we're going to add text. Add overlay, add text. Pick the size font you want, pick the different font. I like to use this one right here. And here we're going to put the title of the video. So we're going to name this, this was Pan Am. And we're going to put at Donington. And then we just want to set it there, even though it's not where we want it or the duration, we just want to get it on. So we confirm it. And then here's first we're going to go ahead and transform it and move it. Make sure it's centered. I want to leave some room just in case it crops. So we'll OK that. And then next we're going to go over to the color. I like to use this green. And then what else I like to do is you can go ahead and add text effects, which lets you kind of change the way the text looks. There's some different ones. I like to use this one right here with the slashes through it. And then we'll add text animation. Now for beginning animation, we're going to have it fade in. And if you let it sit, it'll show you what it does. You could have it fly in, you could have it pop in, you could have it come in one random letter at a time, you could have it slide in, you can have it drop in, different things. We're just going to have the fade in for the title screen. And then you could set an animation for the middle, which we're not going to do. We're going to set an animation for the end. Since we had it fade in, we're going to have it fade out just to have it be consistent. And then once that's set, we're going to go ahead and set the duration. Now we're not going to have any other text showing, so we're just going to have it go to front to end. See, when you have the animation, it'll kilter in, so show you where it begins, where the animation stops, where it's steady, and then where the end animation starts. So we're going to go ahead and set that. And then we're going to go ahead and add those. No, I think this is all we're going to keep for the title screen. We keep it simple. Actually, before we move on, I think I'm going to add more text. I'm going to change the text up a little bit real quick. So in order to do that, just make sure we're over the clip, the title clip. We'll open up the tools, edit overlays, make sure the text is highlighted, open up the tools for the text. We're going to go ahead and edit the text. We're going to make this Pan Am event. We'll go ahead and make it a little bigger. We'll set that, and since we're going to have other text, we're going to shorten the duration of it. We got a total of 8 seconds, so we'll put it right there. Set that. We'll back out, and now right where it starts to fade out, we're going to go ahead and add more text. And now we're going to put Donington. And we're not worried about the duration or the size or anything right now. We're going to change, just get it set on there. Make that really big. Make sure it's centered. We'll change the color. Any effects. Now sometimes when you go ahead and after you set the effects and you change it, it'll take the effect off. It'll keep the color, but sometimes it'll take the effect off. So just pay attention to that when you're doing it. Where's we at? There we go. And then text animation. Now we're going to do the same fade in and fade out. And we're going to make sure the duration is right. Push that all the way to the end. And let's back out and see what that looks like. Yeah, we need to fix where that sticker comes in, so we're going to go ahead and edit overlays. And in order for you to be able to switch over to it, it has to be on the part of the clip that it's on. See, like right here, the sticker's not up yet, so it won't let me select it. But if I scroll over, now it'll let me select it. So we're going to go in to Tools, Sticker Duration, and see it's not all the way. We need to set it. For some reason, it didn't set. All right, so let's go back and check. All right, looks good. Actually, we're going to take, we don't want the Donington to fade out, so we'll click up to the Donington, go to Settings, Text Animation. On Ending Animation, we're going to put None, but then we need to go back and make sure that it's reaching the end, which it is. There we go. All right, so we back out of that. Now we're going to go ahead and add a transition here as well. I'd like to go ahead and add a transition. We'll just do a simple fade. So what we'll do is from the main menu, you hit Tools. Where's it at? Why can't I find it? Oh, there it is. Not Tools, I'm sorry. We want to go to Add Transition. Now there's different ones. These all came with the theme. So depending on the theme you use, since I selected that racing theme, these are there right now. But if I had selected a different theme, say if you're doing a different game or a different set of themes you downloaded, it would have different ones. Like this one has that right there, that one. And then these, it's, I guess, for countdowns, it just pops up a number. But then you also have these PlayStation ones. And you can adjust the volume, the speed, it's static. So we're going to go ahead and use this one right here. Let's see, nice smooth transition. That's how you add that. Next, what we need to do is we're going to go ahead and clone this clip so we can add it as an end screen. So instead, it doesn't allow us to add one at the beginning when we select the theme. So we're just going to clone this title screen, this title clip. You go into Tools, Clone Clip, and then on either one, it doesn't matter. Hit Tools again. We're going to move this clip, and then just click the R1 until it moves it to the very end. Now, of course, we don't want it to say the same thing, so we hit Apply, and we can go in, and we're going to edit the overlay. And we're going to take this out by going to Tools, and we're going to delete the Donington text since it comes up second. We'll leave the sticker, but on this right here, we're going to select it, and we're just going to edit the text. That way we don't have to go through and change everything again, and we'll just add a thanks for watching. Oh, we're going to have to shrink it down first. So we'll just keep that there. Oh, we don't want to rotate it. We shrink this down to make sure we have enough space. And then we'll go back and edit the text. And then we can go back and make it a little bit bigger again. Is that a lowercase t? I can't tell. We can go back and check that. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's uppercase. Okay, so the text animation, we're going to take off the ending fade that we have. We're going to put it to none. And we're going to want it to stay up until the end without a fade. And then we're going to go ahead and add a couple more overlays. Go to the very beginning. Well, actually, we'll wait till right here, till it's already popped on. We're going to go ahead and hit Add. We'll go up to Stickers. And we'll add a like and subscribe. Sometimes I mess up when I'm publishing and I'll put the end cards over them, and it kind of destroys everything I did anyway. But I always forget to, just a heads up when if you're uploading to YouTube, to make sure you're not blocking anything with end cards. So we're going to go ahead and just add it on. We'll just place it right there. For the animation, we're going to have this fly in and fly out. And then we'll set the timing of it. Put that right there. And then we'll move down here. And then once the like is in, we'll go ahead and add our subscribe. And for this end, we'll go ahead and add the sticker animation. We're going to have that one fly in as well. And fly out. And then we'll set the duration. Alright, Now that should be it for the end card. Let's see how that looks. Alright, looks good. So next thing we want to do is add the transition from the end of the race to the end card. So on the end of the race clip, we're going to go ahead and add transition, and we're going to use the same one that we used at the beginning of it. Okay, so now you pretty much have a good idea of how to go ahead and set the text, overlays, different animations. You know, you can do it any point in the video that you want to do it. Even if you wanted to add music, I didn't show you how to do that. It's real quick and easy. You just go ahead and on the clip you want, just go ahead and hit the X to add. Go to add music. It already has some already uploaded, some pretty generic stuff. You can sample it, or you can go ahead and import from a USB drive. Now YouTube will check it for copyright stuff before it even publishes, so be careful with that. Now if you want to go ahead and add it, we'll just go ahead and add this, and it shows up just like any other track. If you want to edit it, split it, trim it, you know, you have fade in, fade out, you can adjust the volume. But we're not going to use any music, so we can go ahead and delete that. Next, we're going to want to go ahead and do our thumbnail. So let's save our project because we're going to start a whole new one. Go back out of here. We'll go to Photos. Go to New Project. It doesn't matter what theme you select because it's just going to be a screenshot anyway. Nothing else is going to be showing unless you want to do something like that, but we're just going to want to keep it nice and clean. Now these are screenshots that I took when I was recording the replays to add to the original clips. So I went ahead and found a few different angles I liked of something I might want to use for a thumbnail. So I'm just going to select one of these. Make sure it's checked and hit square add screenshots. We don't need to rename it. And then here we go. Now we want to get rid of this border that's blinking. So we're going to go ahead and edit background. Go to border settings. Where it says spacing, we're going to put that all the way to 0 and make sure the rounding is at 0 as well if you want the edges to be squared. So we'll confirm that. And then we'll go to edit photo. We want to go to pan and zoom because we want to move some of this. We don't want anything in the bottom right corner because that's usually where the timestamp shows up on YouTube. Maybe zoom in a little more, but I want to get as many of these cars in as possible. All right, that looks good. And then we'll go back to edit photo again. We're gonna go ahead and you can go ahead and add filters. There's actually some pretty cool ones in here. You can do this, the colored edges. I think it's pretty cool. No, we don't want to do that. Oh, now I lost my place. Edit photo, filter, place filter. You can invert it. Where's the one I'm looking for? Not the colored edges. We click that one. Alright, well anyway, we're just going to go ahead and I think we'll just go with this one, the clarity. I like that one, it's nice and clean. And then After that, we're going to go ahead and add our text. Go back to Edit Photo. Add Overlay. Go to Text. And we'll use the same text from our title screen. And I usually just name just some off-the-wall things. Really has nothing to do with the video. Let's name this one, we'll say Santa's Sleigh. I don't know. Since we're in the red, Mercedes. Reminds me of that commercial. How do you spell sleigh? S-L... S-L-E-I-G-H-T, yep. Okay, now we'll transform it so we can move it. Now these, we put them on a little tilt. Make it real big. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and adjust the color. We use the same green and the same effect that we did earlier. Just keep everything consistent. Might want to move this a little higher, because I don't like that yellow behind it. Kind of blends. We're not going to spend too much more time on that, so that's that. We'll go ahead and save. Now, if you're trying to save your thumbnails or your videos to a thumb drive or USB drive, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to click Options, and it's the same for the video, and then click Export to Gallery. And it's going to go ahead and export it to your capture gallery. And then from the capture gallery, you can download it to the drive. Now, if you're not planning on uploading to YouTube or needing to save it to the thumb drive or anything else, on the videos, after it exports to the gallery, it'll ask you if you want to upload then and there to either Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. But I don't believe you'll be able to set the thumbnail at that point if you do it that way. Well, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you found value in it and learned something new about Share Factory. Sure, it is on console, but it is a nice little powerful piece of editing software if you don't have the money to spend on more expensive programs or even a PC at that. And it's simple, convenient, easy to use, as you can see. If you'd like to see the finished product, just click the thumbnail on the screen. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you got value or looking forward to more racing content. Again, this is George of SimNut Racing Sims. Hope you have a great day and hope to see you again soon.